Chapter 5: Collaborating and communicating with stakeholders to clarify requirements. Let's start with the basics. What's a stakeholder? Think of a stakeholder as anyone who has a stake in a project or change. It could be an individual, a group, or even an entire organization. They have an interest in what's going on and they want to see it succeed. Now, when we talk about actors, we're getting into specific roles within the system or project. These are the people who are responsible for getting things done, interacting with the system, and making sure everything's ticking along nicely. Stakeholders can be grouped into three main categories: project stakeholders, business stakeholders, external stakeholders, stakeholders involved in requirements engineering. Let's break these down a bit more. Project stakeholders. These are the folks like the project manager, developers, and business analysts. They're the ones in the trenches managing and building the project based on the requirements. Business stakeholders. Here, we're talking about the project sponsor, subject matter experts, SMEs, and end users or managers. These people provide the insights, the cash, and the green light to keep the project moving. External stakeholders. Think of suppliers, customers, and regulators. These are the outsiders who have a vested interest in making sure the project meets external needs, compliance, and standards. Each of these roles is essential to ensure everything runs smoothly and that the project actually achieves what it's set out to do. The project sponsor. This is the person who owns the new system. They're responsible for making sure it meets its goals and delivers the benefits everyone's hoping for. Think of them as the person with the final say. They hold the purse strings, sign off on decisions, and are accountable for making sure everything stays on track. For example, imagine the project sponsor is like the manager of a local football team. They've got to make sure the team wins, keep everyone motivated, and handle any issues that come up, all while sticking to the budget. System end users and managers. These are the folks who will actually be using the system day in, day out. They need to make sure that the system is functional and user-friendly. If they're not happy with the requirements, it's like handing them a new mobile phone that doesn't have a good signal. Useless, right? Subject matter expert, SME. The SME is like the team captain who knows the game inside out. They provide the specialist knowledge needed to improve the business area and work closely with the analysts to make sure everything's covered in the requirements. Project manager. The project manager is the planner and controller of the project. They ensure the project sticks to time and cost constraints and that the requirements engineering process is followed to the letter. Think of them as the conductor of an orchestra, making sure every instrument plays in harmony. Business analysts. These are your requirements engineers. They're the ones who dig deep to elicit, document, analyze, validate, and manage the requirements. They might even help write the user acceptance tests and run them with the users to make sure everything's spot on. For example, if you're planning a community event, the business analyst would be the one talking to everyone involved, from local council members to residents, making sure all the bases are covered. Developers are responsible for creating the new IT system to meet the requirements. Their main concern, that the requirements can actually be built and tested without too much back and forth. Imagine you're baking a cake, but the recipe is vague. This is what developers deal with when requirements aren't clear. Testers. Testers are all about quality control. They plan, specify, and execute all necessary tests. Their independence from the development team is crucial. They're like the food critics who ensure the meal tastes as good as it should before it's served. Solution architect. This person designs the solution to fit within a technical architecture. They're making sure the non-functional requirements like performance and security are met. It's like being the architect of a new building. Everything has to be solid, secure, and fit for purpose. Customers. Customers are directly impacted by the system's inputs and outputs. They need to be kept in the loop, informed of changes, and sometimes consulted to understand their preferences. Imagine a supermarket chain upgrading its self-checkout machines. Customers need to know how to use the new system and provide feedback.